Hello, good morning. How we doing, everyone? Sorry if there's a little background noise. Everybody, it's been raining like cats and dogs. It's the rainy season here in Florida right now. And so everybody's out doing their lawn. Because like usually we don't have to do our lawn a lot in the other times of the year, but it's summer, everyone's out doing their yard. So if you hear some background noise, just know that's what's up. Hi guys, I see you all joining. So happy you're here. So today we are talking all about the 5 things successful hairstylists do. And I think this is so important because sometimes it's like we almost think we have to make things up from scratch. We almost think that we have to figure everything out for ourselves by our own experiences. But you guys, success leaves clues. Like there are so many people out there showing and modeling what this looks like. And no, they're not celebrities on a reality TV show who are entertainers and like there to cause drama. These are like the actual successful people out there in life. So I'm going to help give you guys a little insight into this. Fair warning, some of this advice is going to be super annoying, okay? I always think about how when we want to get fit, we always act like, how do I get fit? I don't know. But it's because we don't want to do what we know it takes to get fit, which is have a lower caloric intake and work out more or exercise more. So I think it's hard because a lot of this advice shouldn't be new to you. However, hopefully you walk away with some extra motivation and inspiration to build better habits in your life. You know, I think also we tend to think that these big grand gestures are what makes the biggest impact in our life, these massive changes, this huge transformation, when really the things that make the biggest difference in our lives are actually those small daily habits that add up over time. Good morning, Cece. How you doing? So that's what we're going to be focusing on today. I ordered a new lip color yesterday and it came, and so with no makeup on anything, I slapped it on this morning. It was hot pink. My husband was like, okay, it's going to be a great day today. Just walking around hot pink lips. So fun. Okay. So as we start this conversation, if you guys didn't hear my training from last week, I highly recommend you go back and listen to that. It wasn't last week, but the last training that I did, which was how do we define success? And more importantly than that, it was basically like, here are the mistakes we're making trying to define success, okay? So as we go into this conversation about what successful people do, I want you to know that like success looks different for everyone. So it's not necessarily about how you can become this model. It's like how you can be the best you possible. And these habits are very, very universal. Hey, Ashley. Oh my gosh, Susie, look at you. You look like a hot babe. Well, thank you. Okay, so the first thing that successful hairstylists do, okay, is they care for themselves, all right? So often I hear hairstylists saying, my client should, have better boundaries around texting me. I can never eat. I can never, I'm so exhausted by the end of my shift. I can't go for a walk or I can't work out. Successful hairstylists have mastered what this looks like. They nurture their sleep. They make sure they're getting enough sleep. They make sure that they're eating right, whatever that is for you, whatever makes you feel good and energized and clear and not bogged down, right? And then they make time for movement during the week. Now, again, like I said at the beginning, a lot of times we think these things have to be big and dramatic. I'm telling you guys, all the latest research that has come out in the past year around exercise is like, hey, a 5-minute pocket of time that you can just do squats or do jumping jacks or, whatever that looks like for you, do sun salutations, that has just as big of an impact on your health to take those 5 minutes a day over, obviously, the alternative of doing nothing, of thinking we have to go to the gym for an hour, we have to do a run, or we have to do these big dramatic things. You guys, start super, super small, okay? So anyway, number one, they care for themselves. We cannot wait for other people to prioritize our health for us. It's us. We're the ones, okay? So, packing lunches, taking that initiative, making sure we're drinking enough water. It's like you have to go back to the basics, because here's the thing, nothing is sustainable, and performing at a high level, hitting those 10K months consistently, growing a team, bringing in $2,000 clients for extensions, maintaining that level, it's like you're an athlete, okay? Like I always just say, like, if you own a business, you're basically an athlete, and you need to treat yourself that way in terms of sleep, movement, and good nutrition, okay? So that's number one. They know how to care for themselves. That also includes, by the way, knowing how to turn off your notifications, right? Like the amount of time I see stylists be like, I can't believe my client is texting me at midnight. It's like, why are those notifications on? Okay, so like go into your phone settings, take care of your boundaries. You can have your 5 people that would need to call you overnight unblocked, and then block everyone else from texting you during certain hours, okay? Or calling you or whatever. Okay, so care for yourself is number one. Number 2, again, this might be annoying. Successful hairstylists really care about their clients. Okay, they really care about their clients. I get messages all the time about this live training I did that was like, if you don't have this, close your doors, okay? And it's all about how if we don't actually care about the everyday women that we're serving, if we don't actually care about helping people feel beautiful and what that means to them, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. And it's going to be so hard to show up again with that enthusiasm we need to be performing at this high level. It's going to be really hard for us to have any desire to bring in new clients or continue growing, to have new services, to get excited about promotions and specials, and like actually build a business. We have to freaking care about people. And I know it's easy to get burnt out. I know our industry has evolved in so many ways in terms of like clients have more information now, right? Like clients have more information than ever about their own hair, about what color services look like. Like we have highly educated consumers, educated in the, they know enough to be annoying and get into trouble with us. But it's like we can be mad at that and we can throw a fit about it, or we can just show up for them and be like, okay, if I have somebody sitting in my chair that's like, has all this knowledge, it's probably because they have massive anxiety and they've had their hair messed up 1,000 times, right? So it's like, we need to care about how these people feel that are sitting in our chairs. If you notice that you're in this headspace where every client irritates you, every question someone asks you pisses you off, you can only see like the things that are going wrong with clients, you hate when new, like the Farrah Fawcett cut is now the butterfly cut, is the wolf cut, like whatever. If that stuff actually is making you angry and irritated, y'all, it just might be time to pivot your career, or at least take a week off, reschedule everybody, and like figure out what is happening in here. Because there is zero successful businesses that exist that don't care deeply and aren't totally obsessed with the people that they serve, period. Okay, you have to be obsessed with the people you serve. And it's okay if you're not, but also like, then let's make some changes, find other things you can pivot into, whatever that looks like for you, okay? But we can't lie to ourselves about that part. Owning a business sounds fun for like, oh, I'm doing it for myself, but you guys, you have to be doing it for the clients. That's the only way. Okay, so number 1 was care for ourselves. Number 2 was care about our clients. Number 3 is huge, okay? The third thing that successful hairstylists do is they focus only on what matters. So the implied layer of this one is that not only do they focus on what matters, but they know what matters. Okay, so many of us, we are just winging it all the time, which is totally fine, by the way, that's normal. But we're like winging it. We think, we don't really know what's working, what's not working, what's important, what's not important. We might be so focused on these things that, like creating the perfect graphic, and we spend like 8 days making a flyer, right? That isn't what matters. What matters is how we're building our business, how we're getting new people to find us, how we're turning them into clients, how are we nurturing the clients that we have, and like making sure they're excited. They're not getting grass is greener syndrome online, seeing these other stylists in the area and being like, does Ren really know what she's talking about? I don't know. Like, we are focusing on those things that matter. And at the same time, what does that mean? We're letting some other stuff go that doesn't matter. And maybe that's the stuff that we see other people doing that we think is so cool, right? We let it go if our feed isn't freaking like color coordinated perfectly. It's okay. We focus on what matters, okay? We focus on what matters. And like I said, beyond that, we know what matters, okay? We know what's working. There is no guessing. It's very, very intentional. And I'll tell you guys, in the luxury client method, this is what frees up people's time. This is what frees up people's energy, is that they actually have clarity around this is what actually works. Okay, I can let everything else go. It also gives you a sense of relief, because it's like, hey, nothing is wrong with me. It's not that people don't like me. It's not that people think I'm a shitty hairstylist or I'm bad at what I do. It's just that I'm not focusing on the right things. When I do that, everything is going to come into play next, okay? So number 1, we care for ourselves. Number 2, we care about our clients. We're obsessed with our clients. Number 3, we focus only on what matters. Okay, so number 4, the 4th thing that successful hairstylists do is they read, okay? And by read, I mean you could have audiobooks, you could have podcasts, you could do documentaries, like whatever stimulation that is for you, but we are reading and learning from other people in a variety of industries. I cannot tell you how often people think they have a beauty industry problem, when really it's just like a foundational business problem. That like all businesses are going through. And if you just had like these insights into general business, or what amazing CEOs are doing, or things like that, it actually helps you so much, because again, it's not like I'm a special snowflake and my problems are like so unique and no one can figure them out. It's like, no, here are thousands of people who have written books, who have published podcasts, who have documentaries or whatever out there, who have been through similar experiences and seen the other side of it, and I'm just going to stay exposed. There's that saying that like you are the 5 people you hang out with. Y'all, that can include books. Maybe you're in a small town, or maybe you just don't have the social energy to go out and like see a million people all the time, or go on a friend hunt. Use books as your 5 people that you're hanging out with, that you're spending time with, okay? Okay, so they were reading, they're exposing themselves to more knowledge, whether it is outside of our industry or in the industry. And then lastly, number 5 of 5 things successful hairstylists do is they find a mentor. And you're gonna need a different mentor at each phase of your business, right? And sometimes you're going to need a very niche mentor for a very specific problem that you're going through. But having a mentor, having a coach is so important at every level of your business. One of my students that I've been working with for the past 3 years is reaching these crazy goals we set on the first day of her thing about, I want to buy a house, I want to have a home studio, and it felt like a 10-year plan. And she bought the house like this week and is building the studio downstairs. Like, there's so many steps that we think are too far, but when we have a mentor and we have support, whoever that is, it helps us see bigger. And especially for some of you that are in commission salons or that are in, even booth rental salons, it's like you might have your manager or something like that that's looking out for you, but having an outside mentor, this person who is only invested in you. They're not thinking about things that, your salon manager would think about or something like that. It's like having this outside perspective that is wholly invested in your well-being helps you see so much clearer. It's one of the best, absolute best things that you can do for yourself as you're going. And by the way, there are mentors at all price points, right? So lower price point mentors, there's going to be less access maybe to support, but higher price point mentors, you're going to be able to have more support, more access, and all of that. So don't think that having a mentor is just going to be, $2,000 a month or something. Like, there are opportunities at every single level. So obviously, I am so passionate about mentoring hairstylists and estheticians. I freaking love watching you guys grow, watching you figure out the things to focus on that actually make a difference in your business. And so if you're looking for a mentor, if you're trying to figure out some of these steps for yourself, totally here to help you. DM me the word clients, and we can see if working together is that natural next step for us. I have, not only these free trainings, but I also have like $17 stylist success kits that you can gobble up and implement. And then I have the luxury client method, which is my baby. 62 hairstylists have been through the luxury client method. They're seeing amazing results even this month, when many of you are saying, hey, the slow season's coming, right? Like, things are slowing down for me. No, a lot of the people in my program they're looking at next month and it is booked double the amount of last month, and that's in the summer, okay? So there is so much opportunity out there, and you don't have to wait for your business to be in the gutter to get a mentor, right? You get mentors and you keep reading and all of these different things. You're caring for yourself, you're obsessed with your clients. You do all of that even when you're at a peak, even when you're at a high point in your life. So often we wait until we freaking nosedive and we're desperate and we're scared to get help or read or research or whatever. But when you have these daily habits, when you do this on a daily basis, 100% different, okay? And you can actually maintain that level. And I know that you guys know what I mean, where it's like, sometimes it's easy to be at this level and feel really good about everything that you're doing and putting out there. And sometimes it is a struggle. And it's like, I can't do that. I don't have the energy to do that. I don't have the space to do that, okay? But when you're up here and you're able to support yourself in these ways, it is going to make these lows less low and less frequent, right? It's going to be like a little blurb instead of like a crash. You don't show up for 3 months. You don't know when the last time you had a client was, right? Like, when you're in a good spot, that's when you can support yourself for those times that you're not. So those are the 5 things successful hairstylists do. Just to recap super quickly, they care for themselves. So sleep, nutrition, movement, making sure that they're healthy, body and mind, and able to show up on a regular basis. Number 2, they are obsessed with their clients and who they serve, okay? They're not resenting them. They don't hate everything they ask, okay? They're obsessed. They care about them. Number 3, they focus only on what matters, and they're cool with letting go of stuff that doesn't really matter, okay? They dive into what matters, see those results, and spend less time, but like more focused, higher quality time that actually makes a difference. Number 4, they read. They are exposed to ideas on a regular daily basis inside and outside of our industry from people who have reached success and are leaving clues, right? Like, if it takes me 10 years to figure something out, I want to help you figure it out in like 6 months, right? I want to help you take a shortcut. So they are reading, they are exposing themselves to new ideas. And then lastly, number 5 is they have a mentor at each different phase of their business for the accountability, for the inspiration, so that they can see a bigger vision of themselves that they've probably ever seen before. So like goldfish only grow to the size of the bowl that they're in, right? Fleas only jump as high as the environment they're in. There was a study where a flea was in a jar, and so they were only jumping the height of the jar. So that flea, lid comes off, they can now jump freely. The flea is still only jumping the height of the jar. When she has babies, the babies are only jumping the height of the jar, even though there's nothing on top, and they can jump like 10 times that height. This is such a weird example, but I'm just showing you that like when we have mentors or we are, reading and exposing ourselves to bigger ideas, we can actually see way beyond our fishbowl. We can see beyond the jar that's been capped, that we feel like we're hitting the ceiling. There's so much more potential out there for us, but it's hard to see that when we're only in the same exact environment. So reason 1 million why mentors and reading is so, so important. But those are the 5 things. I love you guys so much. Like, please drop into my DMs. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me, what's coming up for you with these. Which ones are easy for you and which ones are a bigger challenge? Like, what's one thing you can do this week to better support yourself in one of these areas, okay? Drop that into my DMs. I appreciate you guys so much. You can catch all of these replays in audio form on the Successful Hairstylist podcast. So check that out. And as always, I love you guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Have a good day.